A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Apollo Cancer Centers to this awareness program, Tame the Fire. So, we have a problem, and that problem is rising prostate cancer incidence. Initially, in the 1980s, 90s, prostate cancer used to involve 1 in 1 lakh men. Now, the incidence has raised to 10 in 1 lakh men, that is 10x increase in the incidence of prostate cancer. And we're finding very young people in their 40s also coming with prostate cancer. So the way we want to tackle it, because the fire is on the rise, and we as a medical community, we want to tame it and eventually put it down. And I think we have a very special chief guest here today, Sir Vikram Singh Mansar, who's the Director General for Fire, Disaster Response and Civil Defense, Government of Telangana. And I'm very sure he's the ideal man who can help us voice out this concern to tame the fire, because he literally tames the fire every day for us to save lives. And with this, I would like to invite the dignitaries on the stage. Few more words about our special chief guest, Vikram Singh Mansar. He is a IPS of 1998 batch, and he has served in various positions as DIG and IG in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, CISF, Central Industrial Security Force. And then he's back in Telangana as the additional Commissioner of Police, Hyderabad City, and he has helped Election Commission conduct peaceful elections to the general elections in Telangana. And then as the additional CP of Law and Order, Hyderabad City Police, he has been awarded the President's Medal this year on Republic Day. Round of applause for that. It's one of the highest honors a police officer can get in India. And after that, he's been posted as the Director General of Vigilance and Enforcement, Government of Telangana. And now he's here as the Director General of the Fire, Defense, Disaster Response and Civil Defense. And welcome, sir. A warm welcome to you. And I invite the Director of Apollo Cancer Center, Dr. Vijayan Reddy Garu, Dr. Sanjay Adla, sir, Senior Uro-Oncologist, and Dr. Nikhil, sir, Director of Medical Oncology, to please come onto the stage. I also call upon our Senior Consultant Medical Oncologist, Dr. S. Prasad, sir, and our Senior Consultant Radiation Oncologist, Dr. Ashwin Shah, sir, to come onto the dais. Now I welcome our visionary leader of Apollo Oncology Centers, Dr. Vijayan Reddy Garu.
A very good morning to all of you. Warm welcome to all of you. At the outset, I would love to welcome our chief guest for the day, Sri Mr. Vikram Singh Man. It's so sweet of him, just on a personal request here, spending his valuable time with us. Who could be the right person for this occasion? We all know we're talking about the fire in the belly, the fire in the prostate that need to be tamed, and he's the right person, and I thought we should be invited. And thank you so much for being here, sir. So I'm proud of him. He has received the President Medal recently in January 2025 for his exemplary work in difficult circumstances, the valiance that he has shown. He has received this presidential award. We are so proud of you, sir, and thank you for being here. Coming back to today's program, we all know why we are all together here, to create some awareness which helps immensely in detecting this malignancy. The fire that ignites in the prostate is quite silent and goes unnoticed. And by the time we realize the patient develops symptoms, it becomes a flare. And it becomes very, very difficult for us to control it. I always keep telling women are very lucky that most of the cancers in women, you have early symptoms which people will notice. But most of the malignancies in men, especially the prostate, you don't have symptoms. And we all keep telling people, especially the men who are busy all the time taking care of the family, only thinking about their children and spouses, never get time to take care of them. As the incidence, Srinath Bharadwaj mentioned the incidence of prostate cancer, which was earlier in the West and Europe. Now, the incidence has increased significantly in our country too. Young age group patients at the age of 40, 50, prostate cancer has become quite significant and incidence is growing alarmingly high. The only way that we can deal this situation is to simple test annually, which does not cost much. As Dr. Singh Sahab has put up several fire controlling centers across the city after he has taken the charge. Apollo has several centers across the city where any person can go and the screening test can be done. Our chairman is very, very fond of early detection of all cancers, and we have subsidized them with 50% reduction in the cost, and anybody can walk in, just spend an hour in the morning and finish off your investigations, and you'll be detecting the cancer at an early stage. That is the time that we can control this fire without becoming a flare. So nipping the bud at an early stage is all that we need to do. For that, we need to catch them early. Without much ado, thank you, Srinath, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Sanjay Adla sir, our senior uro-oncologist. He has done more than 1,000 robotic prostatectomies and trains more than 25 teams all over the world to do the same. Without an ounce of doubt, we can call him an authority on robotic prostatic surgery today in India. I welcome sir to speak on the importance of early detection of prostate cancer.
Thank you all for being here. Prostate cancer incidence is on the rise. Just one statistic, above 65, the commonest cancer in quite a few metros in India is prostate cancer. So the commonest cancer above 65 in India, in majority of the cities, seems to be prostate cancer. By picking up early, we are doing benefit to three groups of people. Firstly, to you, the patients, because the cost of treating a localized stage 1 prostate cancer is about 4 times cheaper compared to treating an advanced cancer. Second, the overall complications that you are going to get are much less compared to treating an advanced cancer. It is better for me as a surgeon because the complication rate, the difficulty with which we operate is much less when we operate on localized disease compared to an advanced disease. And the third one, as a society, rather than needing more than one treatment, you only need one treatment if it is a localized cancer compared to 3 or 4 when you have got an advanced cancer. So if you want to be cured of your cancer, if you want it to be less complicated when you have the treatment, and if you want it to be cheaper, one test, get a PSA test done, that should pick up the cancer. So the ability to cure a cancer is within your remit. Please do get prostate cancer screening done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was very crisp. Now I request Dr. Ashwin Shah, sir, our senior radiation oncologist, elucidate on the warning symptoms of prostate cancer before they become warning sirens.
So good morning, everybody. So nice to be here on the dais today. Respected chief guest, director, Apollo Center, and senior my colleagues, and the patients around. So as Dr. Sanjay was telling about the early detection, I'll be just telling about the early symptoms which the patient can have and how ignorant we are about these symptoms. Coming to the first is the frequency of urine. Usually it starts in the night frequency, and this is one of the signs where you have to see Dr. Sanjay. Second, coming to the difficulty of starting the urine, you cannot pass the urine. So the person has to urge to pass the urine. That's another symptom. And third is slow flow, interrupted, and the flow will not be the normal. These few things we have to be noticed. Apart from this, what you have is sometimes you find change in the color of the urine. It can be red when it's a frank blood which is coming. It can be pink, and it can be sometimes cola. So don't be happy that you are passing out the Coca-Cola out of the urine. So you have to see Dr. Sanjay for this. Right? The other colleagues are there to take care of rest of the things. And apart from this, we have difficulty erectile function. So as the prostate grows, it hampers the family life or the sex life also. So this is also one of the alarming signs of prostate which is growing in the body. As Vijayanand was telling that men are affected, but thing is that God has played his own game. He has given the extra organ and extra problems also to the men. So next, coming to the other this thing, when it becomes very advanced, the presentation itself will be because of the bone metastasis. The patient may complain of the bone pains. Usually start with the pelvis, lower limbs, and next comes if the disease still further increases, there will be the weakness, and you have the general symptoms of cancer. So you have to be careful, which I enumerated about the early or the warning signs of the carcinoma prostate. Here I want to tell one more thing. Always the symptoms need not be related to the cancer of the prostate. There is another entity. It is called benign prostatic hypertrophy. So every cancer, every symptom, what you develop need not lead to the diagnosis of cancer of the prostate. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being very clear, concise, and candid about the warning symptoms of prostate cancer. Now, I request Dr. SVSS Prasad, sir. He is one of the senior most medical oncologists in Telugu states today with 3 decades of experience to tell us about the modern landscape of various treatments that are available for prostate cancer today.
నేను తెలుగులో చెప్తాను బికాస్ దట్స్ వాట్ డాక్టర్ విజయానంద్ ఆల్వేస్ లైక్స్ మీ టు సే ఇన్ తెలుగు ఎ ఫ్యూ వర్డ్స్ సో దట్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ మిక్స్డ్ ఆడియన్స్ హియర్. అయితే వీళ్ళందరూ ప్రాస్టేట్ క్యాన్సర్ని ఎలా తొందరగా కనిపెట్టాలి, దాన్ని అసలు ఎలా అవాయిడ్ చేసుకోవాలి, అలాంటి విషయాలు నా ముందు స్పీకర్స్ అందరూ మాట్లాడారు. అయితే ఒకవేళ అది డయాగ్నోజ్ అయినా ఎర్లీ స్టేజ్లో డాక్టర్ సంజయ్ అట్ల గారు ఆపరేషన్ చేయొచ్చు. ఒకవేళ చేయలేకపోతే డాక్టర్ విజయానంద్ గారు రేడియేషన్ ఇచ్చేస్తారు. అండ్ రేడియేషన్లో కూడా ఇప్పుడు అధునాతమైన టెక్నిక్ ప్రోటాన్ థెరపీ కూడా మా దగ్గర వస్తుంది. ప్రాస్టేట్ క్యాన్సర్ చాలా మంచిది. అలాగే రోబోటిక్ సర్జరీ చేస్తారు డాక్టర్ సంజయ్ అట్ల గారు. ఈ 2 దాటితే మేము మెడికల్ ఆంకాలజిస్ట్ ట్రీట్మెంట్ చేస్తాము. హార్మోన్స్ తోటి అంటే ట్యాబ్లెట్లతో చాలా వరకు, లేదా మంత్లీ ఇంజెక్షన్, లేదా 3 నెలలకు ఒకసారి ఒక ఇంజెక్షన్ తోటి చాలా వరకు డిసీజ్ని కంట్రోల్ చేసి కొన్ని ఏళ్ళు 5-10 ఏళ్ళు పేషెంట్ బాగా ఉండేటట్టుగా చేస్తాం. ఆ తర్వాత కూడా యుద్ధం కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది. కీమోథెరపీ, ఇతరతర ట్రీట్మెంట్లు, కొత్త ట్రీట్మెంట్లు అన్నీ వస్తున్నాయి. దీనివల్ల ప్రాస్టేట్ క్యాన్సర్ పేషెంట్స్ని 10-15 సంవత్సరాలు చాలా ఈజీగా మేము బతికించవచ్చు. ఎర్లీ స్టేజ్ వాళ్ళని టోటల్గా క్యూర్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు. ఇవి మనకి అవైలబుల్గా ఉన్న ఫెసిలిటీస్ అన్నీ మా అపోలో హాస్పిటల్స్లో కూడా ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి మీరందరూ జాగ్రత్త పడండి అని చెప్తూ I take leave.
Thank you, sir. That was very reassuring, and I think all the treatments help us to cure the cancer. So we go to the next and the most dynamic segment of this awareness session, the patient experience. I call upon Mr. Sudhakar Garu to please come on to the dais and share his experiences of undergoing cancer treatment here.
అందరికీ నమస్కారాలు. నాకు 4 years బిఫోర్ ప్రోస్టేట్ క్యాన్సర్ వచ్చింది. నేను వెంటనే డాక్టర్ విజయేంద్ర సార్ని కలిశాను. వారు దానికి దగ్గర ట్రీట్మెంట్ దగ్గరుండి ఫ్రమ్ స్టార్టింగ్ టు ఎండింగ్ వరకు ఆయన దగ్గర ట్రీట్మెంట్ నాకు చేయించారు. నాకు పూర్తిగా న్యాయం అయిపోయింది. లోకంలో ఆయన మానవతామూర్తే కానీ నా దృష్టిలో మటుకు ఆయన భగవంతుడితో సమానం అండి. ఐఎమ్ ఫ్రీ. నాకు ఇప్పుడు 0.02 ఉందండి PSA. ఐఎమ్ వెరీ హ్యాపీ నౌ.
సో బేసికలీ ఆయనకి ఏ సిమ్టమ్స్ లేనప్పుడు రొటీన్గా స్క్రీనింగ్ చేస్తే సింపుల్ బ్లడ్ టెస్ట్ ద్వారా అది ప్రాస్టేట్ క్యాన్సర్ అనే అనుమానంతో బయాప్సీ చేయడం జరిగింది. తద్వారా ఎర్లీగా డయాగ్నోస్ చేయడం జరిగింది. దట్ ఈస్ ద హోల్ ఐడియా ఆఫ్ సుధాకర్ గారు మీతో మాట్లాడడం అంటే నన్ను ప్రేజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. అసలు ఏంటంటే ఆయనకి ఏమి సిమ్టమ్స్ లేనప్పుడు రొటీన్ టెస్ట్ ద్వారా మనం క్యాన్సర్ డయాగ్నోస్ చేయడం జరిగింది. తద్వారా మనం తొలి దశలో కనుక్కోగలిగాము. ట్రీట్మెంట్ అయిపోయింది and ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ అయిపోయారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సుధాకర్ గారు. గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ.
ప్రతి ఒక్కరు టెస్టులు చేయించుకుని దయచేసి ప్రాబ్లం రాకపోయినా అన్ని టెస్టులు చేయించుకొని సార్ని కన్సల్ట్ అవుతా ఉండండి దయచేసి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సుధాకర్ గారు. ఎంతో స్ఫూర్తిదాయకంగా మాట్లాడి చాలా మంది పేషెంట్స్కి స్ఫూర్తినిచ్చినందుకు.
సభకు నమస్కారం. మేము ఇయర్లీ ఒకసారి టెస్ట్ చేయించుకుంటాము. దాంట్లో క్యాన్సర్ అని బయటపడింది. మేము విజయానంద రెడ్డి సార్ని కలిసాము. మాకు ఆయన మంచిగా ట్రీట్మెంట్ చేశారు. మాకు తొందరగా తగ్గిపోయింది. మా విజయానంద సార్ గారికి ధన్యవాదాలు. ఇప్పుడు నాకు క్యూర్ అయింది.
సో తను మంచిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు పరీక్షలు చేసుకోవడంతో మనకు తొలి దశలో కనుక్కోవడం జరుగుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద హోల్ ఐడియా ఆఫ్ ప్రెజెంటింగ్ దీస్ 2 పేషెంట్స్. రొటీన్ గా నేను అంతా బాగున్నాను, ఫుట్బాల్ ఆడుతున్నాను, ఎగరగలుగుతున్నాను, ఏమంటే అది పని చేయగలుగుతున్నాను, అంతా బాగుంది, నాకెందుకు పరీక్షలు అనే అపోహ చాలా మందికి ఉంటుంది. ప్రతి సంవత్సరము 40 ఏళ్ళు దాటిన తర్వాత ప్రతి సంవత్సరము రొటీన్ స్క్రీనింగ్ టెస్ట్ చేస్తే ప్రతి క్యాన్సర్ మనం తొలి దశలో కనుక్కోవడానికి వీలవుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద హోల్ ఐడియా. స్క్రీనింగ్ అనడం ఏంటి? సిమ్టమ్స్ లేనప్పుడు, మన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ లేనప్పుడు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ విల్ గివ్ యూ సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. మీ స్కూటర్ ఉంటుంది, కార్ ఉంటుంది, 5000 కిలోమీటర్స్ తర్వాత సర్వీసింగ్కి పంపిస్తారు. దాంట్లో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ లేకున్నా కూడా వెహికల్ని సర్వీసింగ్కి పంపిస్తారు. అదేవిధంగా మన బాడీకి కూడా సర్వీసింగ్ అవసరం. 2-3 వేలు మనం ఖర్చు పెట్టగలిగితే, మనం ఈ పరీక్షలు చేసుకోగలిగితే, సిమ్టమ్స్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ లేనప్పుడు తొలి దశలో మనం క్యాన్సర్ కనుక్కోవడానికి వీలవుతుంది. విక్రమ్ సింగ్ గారితో మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు తన భయంతో చాలా మంది ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ చేయించుకోరు అని చెప్తున్నారు. సో ఆ భయం పోవాలి. క్యాన్సర్ ఉందేమో అన్న భయంతో చాలా మంది ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్, నాకు ఎందుకబ్బా ఏమైనా పరీక్షలు చేస్తే నాకు క్యాన్సర్ అని డయాగ్నోజ్ అవుతుందన్న భయంతో చాలా మంది పోస్ట్పోన్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. ఆ విధంగా చేస్తే చాలా దుర్భరము, అది అడ్వాన్స్ స్టేజ్ అయిపోతుంది, మనం దాన్ని క్యూర్ చేయలేకపోతాము, అదే కాకుండా ఇబ్బందుల పాలవుతాం. సో వీ షుడ్ బి కాన్షియస్. ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ 40 ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ, ఆడవాళ్ళు కానీ మగవాళ్ళు కానీ తప్పనిసరిగా స్క్రీనింగ్ అనేది చేయించుకోవాలి. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ వెంకటేష్ గారు, ఎంతో ధైర్యంగా వచ్చి మీ అనుభవం చెప్పి ఎంతో మందికి స్ఫూర్తినిచ్చినందుకు. నౌ వి గోయింగ్ ఇన్ టు ది సిగ్నేచర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, దట్ ఈస్ క్యాండిల్ లైటింగ్ అండ్ బ్లోయింగ్ బై అవర్ beloved chief guest Shri Vikram Singh Mansur. So 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Now we request Shri Vikram Singh Mansur to say a few words.
Thank you. Dr. Vijay Anand Reddy Garu, entire team of senior doctors, consultants, all the participants in this program, patients, attendants, doctors, and the media, and also the entire public whom we are reaching out through the media in this program. A very good morning to all of you. It's just about 1 week back, Dr. Reddy, he just spoke to me and he mentioned about this occasion. And I was actually wondering as to why I am a policeman, I am into law and order, crime, all those things. What am I going to do with such an event? And especially if you look at the concept, Tame the Fire. So there was a little bit of my professional work involved, because the word fire is, of course, what I am into now as DG Fire Services and Disaster Response. Nevertheless, I immediately agreed to his request, and that's how we are all here before you. Dr. Reddy and his entire team, who are so distinguished in the field, with so much of experience, decades of experience, they have been organizing this event, I would say, with a bigger purpose. Just before coming to this forum, we were having a small chat in his room, and I was very curious, and I asked him as to, number one, how do you find the time to be active in so many forums and so many fronts apart from your core professional job? And secondly, what is the driving force? So he was very candid that whatever field we are into, whatever work we are doing, whatever professions we follow, unless and until we go beyond the core job, we will never derive satisfaction in our life. And that is it all about. Whether we are doctors, whether we are engineers, whether we are consultants, whether we are cops, whatever. Doing our routine job is one part. Going beyond the call of the regular work, taking that extra step, putting that extra time and effort and energy, that is what gives us true satisfaction. The small but very, very relevant moment right now. And this is a part of the month long, what we call as we are observing the pancreatic cancer month. As DG Fire Services, the topic Tame the Fire, it has both a literal meaning and also a figurative meaning. Literally is quite obvious, tame the fire. You douse the fire. You don't allow the fire to grow beyond a point, because that's dangerous, obviously. It can have serious consequences. Figuratively also, it has a very clear and a deep meaning. It's not about just the fire per se. It's about overcoming the problems, facing the challenges head on, despite inhibitions, despite shortcomings, tackling it on time, coming out with solutions, and leading a happy and a healthier life ahead. That being the background, and a very important message that has been given by all of the dignitaries here is that we should not feel shy. Generally also, nobody would like to come to a hospital. Nobody would like to visit a doctor for whatever reason. That is the human nature. Everybody wants and wishes that we stay 100% fit and healthy till the very end. But that's not the reality. Life is something else. We do have to face problems. Despite being the fittest people, despite being the healthiest people, such surprises will knock at our doors any moment, at any stage in our lives. Particularly so regarding pancreatic cancer. As was just mentioned, the experts spoke about the statistics and the growing percentage of this particular prostate cancer. So this is a cause of concern. The reasons might be many. That's a different area of looking at it. But the fact is that it's a growing problem. Maybe because of awareness, maybe because more people are walking to hospitals getting treated. But yes, it is a challenge. It needs to be tackled. And it is a serious one. One of the speakers also mentioned that it is not just the patient. Apart from the patient, it's his family, his near and dear ones, who also get affected because if this problem spreads to one individual in the family. So, the first and foremost is that we should be aware that there is a problem. Secondly, timely checkups, what we call the routine health checkups, the annual checkups, 6 monthly checkups, whatever way. That should not be avoided by anybody, particularly people who are over and above the age of 40, 45 years. Because as we have noticed, this particular cancer strikes at the very, very last moment. Nobody will have a clue as to what is wrong in our bodies. Let's say, for instance, we are talking about breast cancer. Now, breast cancer is something that is quite, it's quite superficial. You can make out, you can have your regular way of, following up whether something wrong is building up. But if there is this particular prostate cancer, you will not have the slightest clue unless it is too late. So please, let us take the annual checkup seriously. We need not be afraid. That's what I said again. We tend to be afraid as to what will happen. Suppose we walk in for a regular test and we come to know that there is a problem. We will always repent that, why did we go for the test at all? But that's not the case. That is not the way to handle this issue. So be bold, come forward, have your test done, and in case, God forbid, we happen to develop this problem, there are solutions. We have all the experts here. Dr. Reddy undoubtedly is one of the finest in his fields with so much of experience and equally supported by his capable and experienced team out here. There is no dearth of doctors who will give you the treatment and make you live a longer and happier life. We just saw a couple of patients who just walked up on the stage and spoke about their experience. So you can imagine, one of them is a little elderly gentleman, other is a middle-aged gentleman, and they have narrated their experience. అయితే ఈ ప్రోస్టేట్ క్యాన్సర్ గురించి మనము భయపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. మన అందరూ ఇది గమనించాలి. ఈనాటి ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి డాక్టర్ రెడ్డి గారు వాళ్ళందరి టీం నాకు ఇక్కడ పిలిచి ఇది ఇచ్చిన అవకాశానికి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియపరిచి, పత్రికా మిత్రులు ఇక్కడ ఉన్న అందరు వాళ్ళ మాధ్యమం ద్వారా ప్రజలకి ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి నేను ఒక విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాను. దయచేసి మీరు మీ హెల్త్ గురించి, మీ ఫిట్నెస్ గురించి ఆలోచన చేయండి. మీరు నిర్లక్ష్యంగా ఉండకండి. ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు కనీసం ప్రత్యేకంగా 40-45 సంవత్సరం మీ వయసు దాటి ఉంటే దయచేసి మీరు రెగ్యులర్ ట్రీట్మెంట్స్కి రావాలి. దీంట్లో ఎటువంటి భయం లేదు. చాలా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ డాక్టర్స్ వచ్చారు, సలహా ఇస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు టెస్టింగ్ ఫెసిలిటీ సౌకర్యాలు కూడా చాలా ఇంప్రూవ్ అయినాయి. ఖచ్చితంగా ఆన్ టైం మీకు డిటెక్ట్ అయితే దీనికి మనకు పరిష్కారాలు ఉన్నాయి, సమాధానాలు ఉన్నాయి. అంత మంచి ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ ఉన్నారు, అంత మంచి ట్రీట్మెంట్ లైన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఉద్దేశం ఒకటే అండి, తొందరగా డిటెక్ట్ అయి ఉంటే మనము ఈ సమస్యని కంట్రోల్ చేయగలుగుతాము, హ్యాపీగా ఉంటాము, ట్రీట్మెంట్ తొందరగా అయిపోతుంది. అండ్ మనము కూడా మా కుటుంబం సభ్యులతో, పిల్లలతో, భార్యతో, అందరితో, మా నియర్ అండ్ డియర్స్ కలిసి ఒక హ్యాపీ సంతోషంగా జీవనం నడిపించగలుగుతాము. అది దయచేసి మీరు అందరు పాయింట్ నోట్ చేయాలి. విత్ దిస్ I would once again thank and congratulate Dr. Vijayanand Reddy Garu and his entire team for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. And I also wish the entire fraternity of Apollo Cancer Hospitals for organizing this event and giving it a good publicity, because with publicity only the people, the general masses, they come to know that this is important, this cannot be neglected, and that's how people can come forward and go for their tests and checkups. Thank you one and all.
Thank you for the inspiring words, sir. We are very honored to have you here today. Help us fight the fire with awareness. Thank you so much. Now I request Dr. Nikhil Suresh Gadiyal Patil, sir, Director of Medical Oncology.
Happy to be here, and especially with such a big dignitary with us today, who daily plays with the fire, and I believe it's a very apt person for us, Mr. Vikram Singh. Thank you for being here today. we had discussed about what are the common symptoms, what are the challenges, what are the ways we treat. Dr. Sanjay, he's our prostate man, I can say. He does a lot of prostate surgeries, I'm sure one of the highest in the country. Dr. Vijayan Reddy sir is one of the doctors or one of the senior most doctors who has done so much of work in this field, and he had briefed us about how the treatment has really evolved and how early detection can really help the patients. It's very important to really understand why this theme is being chosen, which is Tame the Fire, and I believe it has a lot of undercurrents. Already been discussed that when you start a fire, when you get a spark, when you start a small flame, find a small flame, you have to douse it then and there only. And that is where you can prevent the massive problems which can come with this major fires. And prostate cancer remains a proper example for this particular, I would say, example. Yes. And that is where it is so important when you want to douse the fire, what we should do? We should have the knowledge and we should have the action. And when I talk about the knowledge, we should have the knowledge about the symptoms, we should have the knowledge about the screening tests like post-PSA testing and all that. And what are the actions? Action is to see a doctor. Action is to spread the word. Action is to educate ourselves. Action is to educate others around us. And that is where we as a community can help and prevent this cancer during, in a more advanced stages. So screening remains a very important challenge. Dr. Prasad sir has discussed about important newer treatment paradigms. It is so important for us. And of course, Dr. Ashwin Shah also mentioned about some of the symptoms, how we can pick it up early. So remember, we have to tame the fire. As the same time, we also have to spread the message, and especially through media. Thank you for coming, for especially making this program. And please spread this word about why it is so important for a community as such to really pick the information, pick the disease in a very early stage so that cures are almost certain in these patients. And with this, I thank everyone over here. I thank the patients who have delivered a very inspiring talks over here. All the dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Srinath, you have been wonderful while you were comparing. Dr. Vijayan sir, I'm sure he's the, I would say we all look up to him as one of our senior most colleagues, and we learn a lot from him. And of course, again, our chief guest, Mr. Vikram Singh, you have been inspirational for all of us. And thank you for coming and giving the right message for not only to the patients, but also for the general public. So I stop here and I thank you. I give back to Srinath.